1 minute. Give me 1 minute of your full attention, because what I'm about to walk you through, every single Euphoria breakdown on this platform, completely missed. We all watched the finale. We all saw the scene they're calling Rue's death. We felt the shock, the grief, and most of us, we just accepted it. But I need to ask you something. Since when does Euphoria respect its audience enough to be obvious? This show has spent 3 seasons teaching us one thing. The truth is always wrapped. What you think you saw in that finale, it wasn't reality. It was misdirection. Sam Levinson didn't write an ending. He engineered a trap. But before we dig into Allie, we have to look at the visual grammar of the show. Levinson loves his patterns. Every major character death in this show has been preceded by a thematic breakdown, a sequence that destroys the character's identity before the physical act. With Rue, we got the opposite. We got an apotheosis, a glorification. And that, in a show as cynical as this one, is the biggest red flag of all. Today, I'm not here to tell you who died and who didn't. I'm here to pull the whole machine apart, wire by wire, and show you why you believed Rue was gone, because that belief was the entire point. This is the Masterclass Levinson buried, and if you think Rue is dead, you fell for it. Let's go slow here. Details matter. We saw Allie writing Rue's story in his book. We saw him announce her death at the meeting, and the audience, including me the first time, we just nodded. But hold on, did we ever actually see Rue die? With our own eyes? No. We saw Ollie's version. We watched a man in the middle of a total psychological collapse, a man who had abandoned his own faith, narrating a death. Here's the thing about people in that kind of pain. They don't go looking for the truth. They go looking for an ending, something that stops the hurt. Ollie didn't write Rue's death because she died. Ollie wrote Rue's death because it was the only way he knew how to stop waiting, to stop being responsible, to close the chapter his mind couldn't carry anymore. He didn't document reality. He wrote himself free. And that brings us to the second piece of evidence, the one that I think is actually the most damning. Look at the cinematography in those final moments. The shift between Rue in the kitchen to that embrace with her father. The lighting changes completely. The music stops being the dark, almost nauseating score Euphoria always uses when it's being real with you, and suddenly it's operatic. It's angelic. This show for 6 years has shown us addiction as a waking nightmare. Gritty, suffocating, ugly in the most honest way. So why at the supposed moment of Rue's death does it suddenly look like a painting? That's a fantasy. Either it's Rue's mind building a beautiful escape from a reality she can't face, or it's Levinson reaching for something poetic because he ran out of something true. Either way, what you watched wasn't real. So we have to ask the uncomfortable question, why did this show need Rue dead? And the answer isn't dramatic. It's actually pretty cold. It's political. Sam Levinson needed to close the Rue mythology because killing her is the only clean way out of the mess Season 3 created. Rue's death is a smokescreen. It papers over every single unresolved thread. Why did Nate disappear? Why did Cassie's entire arc dissolve into an OnlyFans punchline? What happened to this show's soul? They killed Rue in your head so you'd stop asking those questions. But here's what Levinson is terrified you'll actually notice. If Rue was really dead, we would have seen a body. We would have seen legal proceedings. We would have seen the kind of real, messy, unbearable grief that this show has never once shied away from. Remember Fez's grandmother? Remember the way this show lingered in loss? Instead, we got quick cuts, photographs, memories, a montage. They're treating us like children, showing us a picture of Rue smiling, and expecting us to close our laptops and say, "Aw, that's sad, the show's over." And think about the marketing. HBO didn't drop a teaser for a memorial. They didn't give us the usual in memoriam treatment. They kept the silence deafening. Why? Because if you bury a character, you celebrate them. If you bury a narrative problem, you ignore it. They aren't mourning Rue, they're burying the evidence. Think about every major death in television history. Every single one. There is always a strong room where people fall apart, where the grief is so physical, it almost feels inappropriate to watch. Now go back to the Euphoria finale. Watch the characters. Really watch them. Watch Ali in that courtroom scene. Watch Maddie. Watch Cassie. Watch the people who knew Rue, who loved Rue. Did any of them look like they lost someone? Their reactions were cold, mechanical, distant, like they were performing a ritual they'd been told to perform, not feeling a loss they'd actually lived. And that's terrifying if you actually sit with it, because there's only two ways to read that. Either the direction was just bad, or the characters themselves know something we don't. This wasn't an accident in the editing room. This was deliberate detachment. Levinson wants you to feel the wrongness of that scene. He wants you unsettled. He wants you leaning forward and thinking, why does this feel hollow? Because that hollow feeling is the gap he left open for us to walk into. And we walked right in. Here's my actual belief, stripped of all the analysis. Rue wasn't really in Season 3. Not the Rue we knew. She'd already become something else. A mirror. A reflection of every broken, exhausted, still trying person watching from their couch. When Levinson chose to kill her on the page, he wasn't ending a character's story. He was trying to shatter the mirror, so we'd stop seeing ourselves in it, stop thinking about our own lives, and just go back to watching the pretty chaos on screen. Rue's death is a smokescreen, and the thing it's covering isn't another plot twist. It's the fact that this show doesn't have a story to tell anymore. Symbols don't die from fentanyl overdoses. Symbols die when we decide to stop believing in them. So here's where I'm leaving you. If I'm wrong, show me the grief. Show me the room where someone collapses. Show me the proof that the people who loved Rue actually said goodbye to her. And if you can't, then come find me in the comments, because I need to know if you see what I see. Is Rue dead, or did we just watch the most carefully constructed act of misdirection in HBO history? Write your theory below. Every comment is another piece of the puzzle they're hoping we never finish. I'm Drama Crypt, and if you're still with me, it means you're not just watching for the story, you're watching for the truth. This is just one thread in the web. Next week, we're pulling on a much larger one. Make sure you're subscribed, because the algorithm is keeping the best theories in the dark. And this was just the beginning. The real secrets, the things they buried inside the shows you think you know, it's coming next. Don't sleep on the like button. The algorithm actively suppresses analysis like this. Help it reach someone who needs to wake up. I will see you on the other side.